All right. So we were discussing about Balkan crisis and first Balkan War. When first Balkan War was happening, Austro-Hungary and Germany was supporting Serbia because they were opposing Serbia or this Balkan League because they were supporting Ottoman Empire. They didn't want the disintegration of Ottoman Empire, first of all. Austria-Hungary actually wanted a port city in Adriatic Sea, and they thought by supporting Ottoman Empire, they will get it from Ottoman Empire. So they were supporting Ottoman Empire against the idea of Balkan League, even though they actively didn't involve much in the war, because many of these countries were not in a situation to participate in the war. But by the end of first Balkan War, which happened in 1912, ended in 1930, over the dispute of Macedonia, in the beginning of the war, Serbia agreed with Bulgaria that Macedonia will be given to Bulgaria. But when it was the end of the war, since the strategic position of Serbia was better than Bulgaria, Serbia went back from their promise. They said no, and at the end of the war, when the treaty was signed, Macedonia was kept by Serbia. So this led to the Second Balkan War, which was in 1930. Bulgaria declared war against Serbia. So eventually, it was against Serbia, Greece, Montenegro. When Bulgaria declared war against Serbia, everybody else attacked Serbia. It was Ottoman Empire from one side, Romania from the other, Greece from another side, Serbia from another. So it was everybody against Bulgaria. Bulgaria was actually supported by Germany and Austro-Hungary because Ottoman Empire was supporting Bulgaria at the end. So Ottoman Empire, Bulgaria, Germany, Austro-Hungary was in one side. France, Britain, Russia, Italy, Japan, everybody else together with Serbia. This was what, developed by the end of Second Balkan War. Why it was important? So all these powers, they were intervening it to expand their trade and colonies, as well as to show who was bigger in military powers or naval powers, etc. Half of the battle was fought in naval warfare or Adriatic Sea. Anyway, this was a situation which was prevailing. They want to control our Balkan, and of course want to hold the other one away from power as well in Balkans. This led to a series of wars, as I said, Balkan War, first, second Balkan War, and then the biggest misfortune or incident, that Austrian Archduke was killed by a Serbian in Serbia. It was a plot against Austria-Hungary, and Archduke was assassinated. This led to the First World War. And the group was same: Germany, Hungary, Turkey, Bulgaria, Ottoman Empire in one side, which was called Allied Forces, and allies were France, Britain, Russia, Italy, Japan, US, together with Serbia. So it was actually a conflict between Serbia and Bulgaria, but then later developed into First World War. So this is a sum of Balkan crisis. Now, to conclude about European imperialism and nationalism, many countries have been colonized by European powers in the 19th century to expand their imperial domination and call imperial aims. The idea of nationalism was spread for sure. But the struggle for independence or the type of nationalism raised everywhere was different. It was repeated as such as what was in Europe, because every country was different. In Africa and Asia, it was more colonies, so it was a struggle against colonialism, but nationalism was there. Each one had got their own version of nationalism. So when we speak about it, the idea of nationalism really started with the French Revolution, continued in Europe in 18th and 19th century, and this was later spread to all around the world. Even though their nationalism was, variations of their own, but still the basic idea started from there. That is the significance of French Revolution and all other revolutions and culture, the philosophers, etc. We'll have to touch one more topic, which is Britain, that we will see in the next slide.